everyone, welcome back to Roseburg Speakers and Storytellers. Guess what? Today I am in our home base, Oregon.
Oh
Yay!
yeah, you're in Roseburg.
Roseburg, yeah, Roseburg, Oregon. Well, just get started in our meeting. It will be a great meeting. And again, every week we always have something special. And today, our Toastmaster of the day is our own Vice President of Education. So let us welcome, give a round of applause for Yasmin.
Thank you, President. Wow, it's so lovely to be back on this very exciting role. And I'm just not going to excite you all, I'm going to make you all, compel you all to dance with me, or at least appreciate the dancing forms that we have around. Yes, that's the theme for the day. You know, we are always so excited about the form of energy, expression. For us, communication is the way of expression. That's why we're all here. And you might be wondering that why I'm relating communication and dance together. But please, let's also try to appreciate that dance is also a form of expression. And if we can appreciate dance, we can appreciate communication. It's a form of communication, non-verbal communication. But I have something more to excite you all. When I took up this theme and I thought I'm going to present about the dance forms of the world, I think I underestimated the subject. I thought, okay, maybe I'll just have like some of the 10 good dance forms around the world picked up. And I puzzled myself completely. It is too broad of a subject to be taken up just, to bring us together. But I will try my best to introduce to you some unique dance forms around the world, which might also make you feel like dance, or maybe, just go and learn more about those dance forms. Well, to begin with, the common dance forms you might know. To name a few, jazz, hip hop, maybe Bollywood dance, right? Okay, let me make it a bit easy for you. So I'm just going to share my screen and see what are the common dance forms around. Yes, there is Veronica coming in. I'm just going to let Veronica join. And here I share my screen with you. See, these are the common dance forms we might all know. Excuse me, bear with me, still trying to figure out with my screen. Okay. Hip hop, salsa, Indian dances, strip dance, rock and roll, break dance, aha, tango, contemporary, belly dancing, bachata, flamenco, and belly dance. Yeah. Just enjoy the dance forms that are here around and bring in the memories. When did you thought of learning any of these dance? Any one of you ever tried any of these dance and would like to just come in and share very quickly? Yes, Mary.
I went on a cruise ship with my boyfriend at the time, and they gave different lessons every day. So we learned the tango, the foxtrot, the salsa, how to waltz, and we had so much fun that we paid for a private lesson. But what I found is I'm used to leading, so we had a very difficult time with both of us trying to be the leader. And so we actually bought the DVD that we were going to practice when we got home, and it never got out of the package. So it was a short-lived, fun week of learning how to dance, but we never followed through after. It caused too many arguments with both of us trying to lead.
So true, Mary. Dance is all about coordination, synchronization, isn't it? And that's what we are going to do today in our meeting. We're going to coordinate ourselves, synchronize ourselves, and play as a team. And to begin with, I must invite the team players who are going to make this dancing bit easier for us, the dancing of this marathon, or the form that we are here to express ourselves. And to begin with, I would like to invite you again, Mary, as the grammarian for today. So could you please come in and explain your role and give us the word of the day? To you, Mary.
Okay, great. Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. I'll start with our word of the day. And the word of the day is an attempt to improve our vocabulary. So at each meeting, we introduce a word and give the form of speech, the definition, and use it in a sentence. And then throughout the meeting, you want to try to incorporate that word of the day in your speaking opportunities. And then after the meeting, try to add it to your vocabulary. Today's word of the day is compelling. Compelling. It's an adjective. It's evoking interest, attention, or admiration in a powerfully irresistible way. So there is nothing more exciting than a compelling dance where people are so in sync and dancing around. So compelling. Please try to use that word, and I will put it in the chat to remind you. The second part of my job today as the grammarian is to ensure that we all use the English language correctly. So I will be looking for grammatical errors and also great uses of the English language. So that and counting our uses of word of the day is my job as grammarian. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mary, for compelling us to use the word compel to the extent possible. And we will make sure that we incorporate the word compelling as much as we can. Challenge to you all. And now we have to have the timekeeper, because we know whenever it is an interesting event happening, time flies, and we need someone to keep us back and remind what is the right time to follow. And to do that, I have to invite Ayu, who is going to be our timekeeper today. So Ayu, if you could please come in and explain the role.
Hello, everyone. Today, I will be your timer. So if you want to, you can always pin video me. I invite you to do so whenever you speak, especially for the prepared speech. And then I will use these colors. Can you see the red, the green, the yellow, and the green as my timing device? Something different. So green will be the minimum time. Yellow will be in between the minimum and the maximum. And when you see red, please, 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 you will only have 30 seconds and wrap it up, wrap it up, wrap it up. That's what I will do for the timing. And back to you, Yasmin. I just want to say, dancing is very compelling to me.
Thank you very much, ma'am, timer. And indeed, your timing devices are going to compel us to stay on time. Thank you for bringing in those innovative devices. And of course, we need to also see how we can be more effective in our delivery by reducing the reducing the usage of the filler words. And I see that Gabby is also here with us, and she has already signed herself up as our counter. So just on that request and the note, may I please request Gabby to come in as the our counter and explain her role?
Thank you everybody. Hello, good morning in Mexico, and good evening in other part of the world. My role as the counter is to count to the number of the unnecessary sound to repetitive words to use when you are speaking on the stage. For example, you know, I mean, will be counted. There are fillers. They will affect it in the delivering your speech. At the end of the meeting, I will back to the team stage to present my report to you. Back to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Gabby. And I cannot go ahead without I share with you my excitement of how I feel about the Indian dance forms. So, well, I am a bit biased. I would like to introduce you to the beauty of the Indian dances. What is the first thing that clicks when you see the forms from India? Well, as is India known for, we have diversity of traditional dances. I've just listed a few of them: Kathakali, Bharatnatyam, Manipuri, Odissi, Mohiniyattam, Satriya. They are all even difficult for me to pronounce, but these are some of the ancient dance forms we have in India. And if you closely observe, you might notice that what stands out are the colorful costumes. To begin with, yes, we have very specific and elegant attires which the dancers put on when they perform the special dance types, and they are definitely specific for the different dance forms. For example, this lady here is just representing the colorful costume, the elegant costume they put in the dance form of Bharatnatyam. To just give you a little bit more insight of what Bharatnatyam is, it's a dance form, and this is something which is more specific to all other dance forms as well, a commonality with Indian dances. It's all about facial expressions, how you sort of position yourself. It's about postures, and most of the dances have some story that flows. When I say dances, I'm talking more about the traditional dance forms in India. So there is a story which flows in. So besides the elegant dances, the rhythmic body movement, there is most of the time the narration of a mythological story, which makes Indian dances quite interesting to watch and pleasant to eye. With that, I move to another beautiful section, equally elegant section of a Toastmaster meeting, which is the prepared speeches. And we have two prepared speakers with us today. And to begin with, I would like to invite our very first speaker, Chitra, who is such a common face with us now. We feel that she's a part of RSS. She is a visiting Toastmaster to RSS, and she will be delivering her speech from the pathway of dynamic leadership. It's a speech about researching and presenting. I'm just going to look at the speech title very quickly. The speech title is I have to request the speaker to help me with the speech title, but it's a project which is about researching and presenting. So I would request the speaker to give me the title before I introduce the evaluator, Akib. Could you please?
The title is Let's Exercise, Yasmin.
Let's Exercise. Okay, so for the note of the evaluator, the title is Let's Exercise. And the evaluator indeed is another very familiar and common face with RSS, which we feel as our own. And it is the visiting Toastmaster Akib, who will be evaluating the speech of Citra. So with this, I give the floor to Citra. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Yasmin. Let me share my screen. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we are only a few days away from 2022. They say, New Year is a new start. The time for us to make our resolutions. Something new, a new habit that we'd like to execute over the year. Hopefully, it's not only first few months or even first few days. Let me just share with you some common New Year resolution. take a trip, find a new job, help others, join gym, save money, lose weight, yeah, quit smoking, give gifts for friends or family, get fit, drink alcoholic drink less, find love, and basically just enjoy life. And for today's speech, I'll be talking about physical fitness by doing joining gym, losing weight, and basically just to get fit. Why? Because the research from US Department of Health and Human Services shows that Americans are underfit. Woo! This compelling data and shocking data to me shows that 80% of adults do not meet the guidelines for aerobic and muscle strengthening. Only 1 in 3 adults get the recommended amount of physical activities each week activities. Another thing is only less than 5% of adults engage in 30 minutes or more of activities each day. 28% of Americans, or 82.2 million, age 6 and older, are physically inactive. Those data are for adults. And for children or high schoolers, only 3 in 10 high schoolers get an hour or 60 minutes of physical activities every day, and only 1 in 3 children are physically active each day. Another shocking data. This is the data that shows the relationship among physical activities and daily sitting time. For us, or for those who are working behind the desk, who spends most of our time sitting, might be shocked while seeing this data. Because it shows that the more we sit and we do nothing in terms of physical activity, the more risk of all-cause mortality in terms of illness, physical not well-beingness, that will impact us, as you can see from the color red until green. But the more physical activities that we have, and even the higher daily sitting time, it could also help to reduce the impact of the all-cause mortality disease. Well, so what is actually the cause and the solution for this? Being physically active. Because being physically active are one of the most important ways that we can do to improve our own health. And another research shows that about 117 billion US dollar is the cost of the annual healthcare system. And there are 10% of premature mortality is associated by inadequate of physical activities. So here's actually the recommendation or the guidelines of how we should do the physical activities. Adults like us needs to mix a physical activity in order to stay healthy. A mix of moderate intensity aerobic and muscle strengthening activity. There are some examples of moderate intensity aerobic activity, such as biking, running, walking your dog, planting, gardening, dancing, moving your body, at least 150 minutes a week. Anything that gets your heart beating faster, that counts. And another activities of muscle strengthening activities should be done at least 2 days a week, such as weightlifting, push up, sit up, lifting heavy grocery, lifting your daughter, your spouse can be considered. Well, if you see this and you said, wow, that's so much of time, indeed. But what you can do is at least spare 5 minutes or even 3 minutes of your time to do something to keep yourself active, but you do it consistently. So that small step, that baby step matters. Walking, running, dancing, playing around, something that makes your heart feels good, something that makes you happy and your mood also good. I cannot stress this enough because there's so many physical activities and the potential benefits if we are doing that. As you can see from the chart of how it helps to reduce the type 2 diabetes, all the lifestyle disease, cardiovascular disease, the colon cancer, how it helps to improve the sleep, anxiety, all the mental illness can be lifted, and many other benefits that you can get if you maintain the physical activities. You can follow the guidelines by doing the mix of the physical activities and also the muscle activities, or you just can do something fun. Last but not least, cheers for 2022. Hopefully, we can maintain the healthy living by first having the positive thinking, so we can feel good, so that we can consistently doing the regular exercise. We can also eat better, and the cycle continues. Positive thinking, feel good, regular exercise, eat better, and so on. Hope all of us stay healthy today and onwards. Thank you so much. Back to you, Jasmine.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Chitra, for such a timely subject. I guess this was the time when we needed this speech the most, because as we move into the new year, we have to set the goals for ourselves. And thank you for reminding that dancing indeed is one of the way we can move your up, right? Move the way, exercise, dance. Come on, dance, dance. And I also see Shilpa joining in. So welcome, Shilpa. Aha, Chitra, I'm quite excited to know from you as to what is the beautiful dance form in Indonesia.
Because I'm from Bali, so when I was kid, I used to learn Balinese dance. You know the Balinese dance when we have to do this, and then the eye. There are so many kinds of Balinese dance, pandet, and then I can name some. Barong dance. It needs the coordination between the hands, the shoulders, and also the back. We have to do squat, so it has to be squat all over. That's so tiring. That's why I only joined the class for 6 months and I quit. I'm just kidding. But that's fun to watch because of the colorful dancing and the clothes.
True, true. I do recall watching them dance. The moment you mentioned the squat, I understood. Oh, okay, that's the dance I know. And that's the dance perhaps we can learn if we have to exercise better. Moving on to next is our very favorite speaker too, which is none other than Michelle. Well, we know, and Michelle says this always, that we relate her more to America, but she's a Filipino as well, and I'm sure she has something exciting to share as to what is very specific with the dance forms in Philippines. Michelle, would you like to tell us something very exciting from some of the dance forms in Philippines, and if you do one?
Absolutely. I will not be able to do a demonstration because I'm still half awake. But next to India, I dare to say, and maybe Thailand, the Philippines has the most colorful, amazing, and compelling dances. Maybe one of these days I will do a speech on the Philippine dances. We are arranged from north to south. We are a mix of different cultures. My personal favorite to watch, not to dance, to watch, is a dance in Mindanao, which is a combination of Muslim and Christian and all that. And it is a beautiful story, very dramatic story. And all of a sudden, the name just flew off my brain. But I will think about it, and maybe that will be my next speech. Back to you, Yasmin.
Oh, thank you. We look forward to this speech, Michelle. And you actually brought a very interesting point. You know, dance forms goes beyond religion, caste, culture, creed. It's something we all enjoy irrespective. We need no verbal language for dance forms. And now is the time for the speech from Michelle, which is what's in the name. She's gonna give a generic speech from a pathway, a generic pathway at the moment, which is 5 to 7 minutes speech, and she will be evaluated by none other than our beautiful friend from a beautiful city in Mexico, which is Puebla. And Ishel is going to be evaluating Michelle. Yeah, what a rhyme. Maybe we can think of a dance on that. Ishel evaluating Michelle. And With this, I give it to Michelle and I. Let's invite her for her second, for the speech, the second speaker. Michelle, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Madame Toastmaster. What is in a name? What's in a name? It can have many compelling connotations for different people. And two famous sayings that pertain to a name. The traditional or the classic poet and writer, William Shakespeare, used to say, what's in a name? A rose by any other name is still as sweet. That's what he thought. On the other hand, Dale Carnegie, one of the most influential writers of the last century, wrote in his book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, that names are the sweetest and most important sound to the person. So you have two very opposite connotations or perceptions for a name. Shakespeare thinks, whatever, a name, it doesn't matter. A rose, you can call a rose a poinsettia, or this is a poinsettia. It's still a sweet. But Dale Carnegie believed that it is the most important sound to a person. Personally, I am with Dale Carnegie. A name for me is extremely important, especially my name. And this is not just an idle feeling for me. I have many compelling reasons for why names are so important. In fact, I will share with you a little bit of the evolution of my name, Michelle, or actually Celeste Michelle. It's too long a story. It's a saga. It's one of those epic stories like Game of Thrones. But just quickly to let you know, I was not born Michelle. In fact, I was not even born Celeste. I found this out when I was already trying to get my passport. And I found out that my name is not in the registry of births. There is no Celeste. I knew that Michelle wouldn't be there. Because I'll tell you in a while why I knew that Michelle wouldn't be there. But I was expecting Celeste would be there. No, the National Census Center for Census and Statistics came back with a response saying name not found. Oh my gosh, maybe I never was born. Maybe I don't even exist. But I am going ahead. Let me flash back a little bit. When I was finishing up in high school, we were an all-girls school, and we decided we will choose a name that resonates with us, that gives us a compelling reason to stand tall and feel proud when somebody calls our name. And as far as I was concerned, Celeste, it gave me a feeling of shame and not feeling good because my mom, whenever she was annoyed with me, when she was not annoyed, I had a nickname, Tete. But when she would be annoyed with me, it would be Celeste. Come here, Celeste. So I knew, and also the nuns at the school, whenever they were annoyed, they were going to punish you or scold you. Celeste, viene aquí, come here. And yeah, the Spanish excelled. The non-spoken Spanish picked up a few words. Sinvergüenza. I know Excel will understand that. Yes. So Celeste, and it was pronounced with 3 syllables. And Cebuanos had a nasty way of saying Celeste, which really did not sound good. I did not like my name for many other reasons, which I can share. But then there came the Beatles song. Michelle, Mabel, Solemon, Kivon, Trevienans. Oh, and I love you. Wow, the Beatles loved Michelle, and it sounded so compelling. It sounded so attractive, mesmerizing, all the positive connotations. So I chose that name. And then it's kind of stuck. Well, it did not stuck. It did not stick. I made it stick. it was compelling. Anytime somebody would ask me my name, I would say Michelle. Who cares if it was not in my birth certificate, right? And when I had to apply for a passport, my first trip out of the Philippines, you needed a passport. I included that in my name because back then I was working with Timex. And when I had submitted my application, they didn't ask for documents back then. I had Michelle in it. So I submitted my documents as Celeste Michelle. And they said, well, there's no record of that. So the lawyer, very smart lawyer in Timex, said, no problem. We will have affidavits, two affidavits from two disinterested parties. And there's a format for that. I swear, etc., that they knew my mother and that I am the same person. Celeste Michelle is the same person who was born, etc., etc. All the legal gobbledygook. And voila, my passport said Celeste Michelle. So thereafter, I never let go of that name because it's my passport. When I came to the US, I used the name. My US passport also now carries Celeste Michelle. And I have fights. I have to compel people to include the Michelle because they always just say Celeste and the Michelle gets dropped off. And for me, Michelle is significant. It has a compelling reason. I reinvented myself. I renamed myself. I removed the shame and the feeling of not being adequate with the name Celeste. And now, actually, I'm starting to like the name Celeste when it's pronounced with two syllables, Celeste, especially pronounced by French speakers because they will go, Celeste. Oh, Celeste, it is such a beautiful name. And I'm starting to like it. Still, there's an issue with being too long, Celeste Michelle. And if I had to choose, I would say preferred name is Michelle, but I like both names now. So what's in a name? Bah, I don't believe Shakespeare. As far as I'm concerned, a name is the most important sound to me, especially the name Michelle. Back to you, Madame Toastmaster.
Thank you, Michelle Akaselis. For us, it's gonna be that we are gonna love you irrespective you are Michelle or Celeste, and that's not gonna change for sure. Aha, but I think it's the time to change something else. We have two more guests with us, Prithvi and Veronica. You are both welcome, and we encourage you to switch on your camera so that we could look at your lovely smiles. And feel free to jump in whenever you wish to, or now is the time, perhaps in the next session, table topic session, where you can join in depending on the table topic master. Of course, he has to run the show. Oh, Prithvi, nice to see you. You see, that's the reason we were compelled to ask you to switch on your camera. And yes, I have to bring the dance back, right? Back in our spirit and back in the spirit of the variety and diversity we have in this club. We have so many people from Latin America, and I am always excited to know about the dance forms of Latin America. And this was very good reason for me to go and look as to what are the most popular dance form in Latin America. And I have to share something exciting that I found while researching about the dance form in Latin America. And here it goes. So while I was looking at the various dance forms in Latin America, the first thing that stands out to me is that it's difficult to spell those Spanish names. Yes, except tango, which is the popular dance form in Argentina. I'm going to give a try. Los Caparoles in Bolivia. Samba, yeah, I'm sure you have heard this, is in Brazil. Cueca in Chile, cumbia in Colombia, paselo in Ecuador, marineria in Peru, danza de la botella in Paraguay, candombre in Uruguay, and joropo in Venezuela. I know I have mispronounced half of them, and my Latin friends are not going to leave me for that, but please excuse me. And then I was just excited to know about this particular name, which I could understand a little bit, which is Danza de la Botella, because I thought it has to do something with bottles. And yes, I wasn't wrong. This is the dance form where basically the women dancer are balancing bottles on their heads one by one. And this brought in wow to me because I come from a state of Rajasthan and I have something very similar there. This is the Bhavi dance in Rajasthan, where it's just that the bottles have to be replaced by the pots. And this another example to confirm my belief that dance variety doesn't need any boundaries. It's like same expression, same way. It's about if you have beer bottles around, if wine is popular, it's just that you balance bottles. If you come from water scarce area, then you balance the pots. And yes, I see my Latin friends smiling. I invite them if there is any particular dance form I have missed and is really interesting to be shared. Ishal, would you like to share if there is a very exciting dance from Latin America which we really don't know usually about or is not so popularly known but is interesting?
Well, hello, yes, Jasmine. Hello, good day to everyone. Yes, well, in Mexico, I think that it's more important the cumbia. Cumbia in Mexico is the most important, and also salsa. That well, let me tell you a particular situation for cumbia in Mexico City. That they say the sonidero. They're dancing, and some guy is at the microphone and he say, "Hello, good day, and now we have welcome to somebody," and they loud, they say many things while the people is dancing. Yes, but the cumbia is the most popular in Mexico.
That sounds interesting. I'm very curious to know how do they shout. I think we should bring them to Toastmasters here to shout, especially for our New Year parties, isn't it? Okay. I know the table topics master is eagerly waiting for his session to come. And yes, I can read it on the face. Tiger, who is going to be our table topic master, has been sending me the messages saying, okay, I know you ladies love dancing, but let me come in because I'm sure to bring in more dancing stories out of these audiences. I know Tiger, and therefore I give it to you as the table topic master for today.
Thank you, Yasmin. I just wanted to show that I can dance and balance a towel. Be sure in your table topics when you get to red that you have 30 seconds to wrap up. And also, Michelle, I didn't have to go seek a name. My mom gave me the name Tiger when I was 2 years old. All I had to do was live up to it. That was easy. All right, here we go. Table topics. So you have two challenges. Number one, your questions are going to be about dance. Number two, use the word of the day, compelling. And we are going to start with Shilpa. It's so nice to see you here. Shilpa, what is your favorite dance and why?
Thank you, Tiger, for the question. I belong to the state of Rajasthan, just as Yasmin does. And when I saw that picture of the dance, many memories came to my mind. At this point of time, my family is suffering from COVID back in India, and that brings me to the Lord and the dances of the Lord. We always, I think in every culture, every country, to praise the Lord, we do perform dance forms. So at this point of time, I would say just whatever we do, praising the Lord and thanking the Lord, asking for his mercy, those are the dances. There is a song probably Yasmin can share. Yasmin, the link to Khwaja Mere Khwaja. That's a very devotional Sufi kind of dance, and I think that would be very apt for the moment right now. That would be my most compelling dance form.
Thank you, Shilpa. Again, it's so nice to have you here. Pruthi, please share with us your favorite dance experience and explain to us why it was your favorite dancing experience.
Dance is one of the, I would say, form of art, which gives me so much of happiness when I see somebody dance. But if you ask me to dance, that's all a different story. All of you run out of the meeting. So I don't have much idea on the different types of dances, except that I'm hearing from Yasmin today. So I like any kind of dance which is close to me. I don't know how to distinguish between folk, classic, western. I don't have any idea on these different forms of dances, but I enjoy every type of dance because I can't distinguish them. But so I don't have any specific dance forms, but I love listening to the music, and also uh, when the lyrics goes along with the dance, that's when I find the chorus, and also about the dance people are dancing. When people are enjoying the dance, that's when I see more that gives me a kind of more happiness that everybody is enjoying. Let me also enjoy the dance and try to understand what it is. So I don't have any specific dance form that I like. Over to you, Tiger.
Thank you, sir, and thank you for coming back. You're always welcome here. That was wonderful. Amy, we have not seen you here for a while either. It's so nice to see you again. So, Amy, on your recent travels, what kind of dancing have you witnessed?
Thank you, Tiger. I have actually not been out dancing the whole time that I've been in Mexico, which is quite sort of embarrassing to say. I haven't had any late nights, but I have been told about all the fantastic dancing that is available around here. And to be honest, that's probably why I haven't been out, because I'm a little bit intimidated by not being able to do salsa or any of the other dances. I've had one or two little experiences with people spinning me around, and I've struggled not to trip and fall and step on people's toes. So I definitely think I need some lessons before I hit some of the big clubs that I've seen around here that have all the different types of dancing. There's a, I'm not sure if it's all the bars are like this or just one of the bars I've been told about, but every floor is a different style of dancing. And oh, what's the music? What's that main style of music? I'm looking at Michelle and Gabby. Rumba. It's escaped me now, but it's the main style of dancing, and it's very roll your body. And yeah, I'm afraid that the what we learned in Ireland, our stiff Irish dancing, will not transfer over to the free flowing, beautiful Latin American dancing. But I'll be back here, and maybe I'll try and get some lessons in the meantime, and then I'll start rocking out some of those dance moves. Thank you, Tiger.
Thank you for that humorous and compelling story, Amy. That was fun. Akib, what is the
Tiger.
absolute worst dancing experience you've ever had?
Worst dancing experience. Thanks, Tiger. Worst dancing experience, or you can say best dancing experience. It is when we go to weddings, probably Indian weddings, wherein no one knows the actual steps. Whichever song comes, someone is doing this, someone is doing this. No one knows what is the step, but everyone is just listening to the song and going, wow, this is what it is. And that is that happiness. I mean, you cannot compare it. And that the dopamine which comes after that, it was like lovely wedding. No one knows when wedding happened and how was the groom and how bride came and all. It was just the dancing, 2 hours of dancing. And this is something which everyone, when we are going to wedding, we all desire. At least we need 2 hour session of dancing. Rest aside, we'll see whatever there in the food or not. So this is something which is, you can say, best or worst. And I regret, bro, I should have practiced it a little bit. When I'm on the stage, I should have probably practiced and does some better dance. But it was like, no, it doesn't require practice. You have to just go there and do whatever you feel like. All it requires is some motion, hand motion, leg motion, something. So that is one experience. Tiger, over to you.
Thank you, sir. And it's always nice to have you here as well. Thank you for participating. That was fun. And it was compelling. Well, who's next? I think we need to hear from Ravi. Ravi, what is the most humorous dance experience that you've ever had?
The most humorous dance experience that I've ever had. I would have to say watching a video of me having danced at somebody's wedding to take a leaf of what Akib said. That would have been the most humorous dance because I would say I have 2 left feet. And whenever it comes to dancing, I actually don't even ever move my feet. No matter how compelling the music is, I end up just doing this and doing that and trying a little bit of Saturday Night Fever, this and that. But that's about all I do. I don't really move my feet at all. So when I look at a video of myself dancing, it typically looks like one of those, I don't remember what they're called, but you've got those air bubble thingies that you've got outside of your car dealerships in the US. You see that? It goes all the way like that. So that's what I look like most of the time when I see my video dancing. So the most humorous, I think, would be watching a video of myself after the fact. Back to you, Tiger.
Thank you again for a very humorous. I knew that would come out good. Getting you to make us laugh, that was fun. Thank you. How we doing for time there, Miss Timer?
Yeah, I think we need to go to the next session.
Bummer. I think that Michelle is relieved that I didn't ask her the next question, but that's okay. I guess we have to move on to section number 3. So I will turn it back to our wonderful Toastmaster of the day, Yasmin. Back to you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much, Table Topic Master Tiger, for bringing those beautiful stories, the humorous, furious, curious stories out of our members. I know there are so many memories associated with dancing, isn't it? But before we get into the very important session of our meeting, I would like to take you to another part of the world, which is, of course, very exciting and energetic, and I'm sure has a lot of dance forms. And I wish we would have had someone from this very continent of Africa to give us some beautiful insights, because I don't think I'm educated enough for the dance forms of Africa. But as a layman, what I know and what I can see is that it's again the beautiful, lavish colors. They are very energetic dance forms, and most of the times they are either the display of victory, they have masks. I just googled a bit and I found that these are two most popular dance forms. For example, performed by 2 different tribes in 2 different countries with sort of similar sense. The Ingalamu, South Africa, where you can see males with weaponaries, different costumes, which perhaps are their tribal resemblance. And likewise for Kenya, the Aduma from the Maasai community, which is sort of jumping dance. So this is also performed after victory. But here the men are using the bamboo sticks and sort of jumping. I would like to invite if anyone has a little bit of more knowledge than me, perhaps about the dance form of Africa. Um, well, I see none, and this means that we really need to have someone from this very part of the world in our group, isn't it? I know you all agree with me. We need to bring in diversity from this very beautiful continent as well. And inshallah, in 2022, this will happen. Now I move to the next session of the meeting, which is as equally exciting as the first two and is the spirit of Toastmaster, in the sense it prepares us to not only to give feedback, but also to receive feedback. And to run this very special session, I need to have a general evaluator, which is going to introduce the two evaluators and also the other role players to give their reports. And to do this task, which is a very important task of any Toastmaster meeting, I have the pleasure of inviting yet another very familiar face of us amongst us, which also feels very much like an RSS family, Ravi. So Ravi, I would like to give the floor to you as the general evaluator, and please carry forward this meeting. To you, Ravi.
Thank you, Yasmin. So as the general evaluator of the day, my role is to observe the meeting from start to finish and share my observations. And I can't do that all by myself. As Yasmin has mentioned, there's a very capable set of fellow Toastmasters who are there to help me and everybody else evaluate how the meeting went. With that, I would like to invite Akib, who is the evaluator for Citra's speech, to go ahead and present his evaluation about the speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Akib.
Thanks, General Evaluator. I would like to congratulate Citra for delivering this speech. Timing of the speech, as Toastmaster of the Day told, I mean, it's 10 days to go and you have given us the new resolution. So very lovely timing, I would say. As a fitness freak, I know how important it is, and for all of us that we understand how actually we can get into shape. Even I have gotten some bellies last couple of days when I moved home. So I have to again come back. So very thorough research topic, I would say. The way you have structured the content, I liked it because you gave 3 or 4 slides, very crispy slides. And one said that it is New Year coming up and you have 3 reasons out of whole slide, out of 12 reasons, 3 were for the health reasons. So from there you went up why it is important, and then you said how it is important. Also you said that these are the things which we should do to get into shape. These are the things which I like, and the crispiness, I mean, the way you have managed the entire content of getting into fitness, I don't know, I could have done it, but kudos to you that you have brought it into 3 or 4 slides. It's really commendable. You gave us, a compelling reason to go and do something. One more thing which I liked is you said lifting your siblings, and then you says lifting your spouse. Is like, no, another resolution for me to get married. So lovely speech, Citra. As every New Year resolution doesn't get followed, everything needs reinforcement. Here also we need small things which I could have done it. The first one is when you give sources for the reason why people are getting into diabetes or other issues, you gave a source that this is what American standard says. When you gave the answers, the solutions to it, you could have little bit mentioned that 150 hurt points which you mentioned. So it is something which comes from American Health Association. They say every week we should have 150 hurt points, and that will keep us fit, that will keep us motivated, happy, it will release dopamine. So those sources, I mean, it could have, fortified the content which you have produced to all of us. That is one thing. Second, and this is something which I was also given feedback when I gave this speech of research, and feedback was giving a strength, I mean, a strong conclusion. So when we do a lot of research, we often come with a lot of things, and that is one reason. And coming back to the original things are like when you close the speech, the last lines which you say, that should be having more power or something, wherein I mean, there are 2 to 3 kinds of giving a conclusion. Either you can go back to your starting, or you can give some call of action to all of us that this is what your New Year resolution is going to be, or this is what we all should go ahead with. So that one thing, if we could have done, it's already a great speech, I would say. So you started with a great, great content. Second thing, content was really nice. You structured it properly. That is also nice. All the ways that we can get into shape by running, lifting your spouse, or all of those. So those were lovely. I mean, I would definitely do it. And these 2 things, if we can do, this could be a memorable speech. And overall, it was a nice speech, Chitra. Congratulations. And over to you, General Evaluator. I cannot see timer actually. I cannot see timer. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Akib, for that evaluation. So with that, I would now call upon, my bad, Ishel, right, to evaluate. I'm sorry if I've mispronounced your name, Ishel. I hope that's right. To evaluate Michelle's speech.
Okay, yes. Thank you, Ravi. Thank you. Okay, Michelle. Well, I want to say first that I like it, your structure of your speech, how you started with the question of your speech. Then you supported that question with 2 writers, and you say that you prefer one, and you also support the reason of why you prefer that writer about your name. Then you add your story about your name and how you finish your speech, that you found to get your name in your passport, in all your documents. That it's a lovely story about your name. Really, you compelled me also to explain my name. And as you said, that also the important point that our name, what is important, our name. And really, yes, it's so important. And I like it so much how you make that, the structure. The second point, the feeling. I like it how you add the feeling of your name, and why you say that I don't like Celeste and why you like Michelle. And also I like the lovely story that you end, that finally you accept also Celeste, and now you are complete with your name, that you accept both names. Really lovely story. I like it so much. A little, yes, please, little. Sorry. Okay, and also that is the second point. I yeah, the story, I like it so much. I like it how you push your feeling. Oh, we know, everybody, we know your voice, the tone, the sequencing, how you say your story. You are a master in that situation, how you push with a more strong voice, or when you make a slow, and also how you sing, for make an example. Really, I enjoyed it so much, your speech. Now the challenge was for me. What I can say to Michelle to make better? Really, I was thinking and thinking what's so hard for me, what Michelle could do better. And the only point that I can say is that I think that you needed more time. You let me, and I felt that I wanted to see more about you, more about your stories, more about the story of your passport and how you fix all that situation. And I am so happy that you fight for your name and that you have right now. Congratulations. It's difficult that you can choose your name and you have the name. Most of us only we have the name that our father, mother give us, and it's that said that you are a great woman, fighting woman. And congratulations, Michelle. Back to you, Ravi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Michelle, for that evaluation of Michelle's speech. With that, I would now invite our grammarian for the day, Mary, to present her report to everybody. Over to you, Toastmaster Mary.
Thank you, General Evaluator. And it's no surprise this club did outstanding in using the English language very effectively, wonderful vocabulary words, and excellent use of word of the day. You really took that to heart today. And I'll start with my word of the day report, since it seemed just about everybody used it at least once. I had Mary with one, IU with one, Shilpa with one, Quillo, if I said that properly, sorry if I mispronounced it, one, Citra, I think one, Tiger used it 4 times, Yasmin used it 3 times, Ravi used it once, Michelle, she's an overachiever. I said she is the role model to follow with using word of the day. She used it 8 times that I caught. So well done. A compelling use of the word of the day. I'll just point out just a very few things. I loved how Amy said rocking in some dance moves. And I wasn't sure if you said rocking or racking in, but I thought that was a cute little phrase at the end. Yasmin, I love when you said I like humorous, funny, and curious stories. I thought that was really cute how you put that together. Michelle, the word you said poinsettia, I think you said, or poinsettia or something, but it's either poinsettia or poinsettia. I think you, at least that's my pronunciation. Poinsettia, I think is the proper one. But I absolutely loved your vocabulary words. You nailed it in word of the day. You just can't do it. I mean, you are the champ. Aqib, I'm just going to say this. It wasn't grammatically incorrect, but I had to really listen on your W's. One in particular, it said ways to improve your conclusion. It just took me a little time to say, oh, he meant ways, but I was hearing the V. So again, not a grammatical error, just a little bit of the pronunciation of W. And Michelle, just 2 small things, but I want to mention it. You said you are complete with your name. I think you might have used the word comfortable with your name versus complete. That's what I heard. And you said at the end, what I can say to make it better. I would flip that and say, what can I say to make it better? Instead of I can I? I'm going to close with just a quick note about dance, which is I'd like to add that many cultures use dance as a compelling way to tell a story about their culture and to pass on history through dance and stories. So thank you for sharing your dance theme today. That concludes my grammarian report. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mary. That was a very compelling report by you indeed. Thank you very much. And thanks for bringing in the theme as well while you were sharing your report with the rest of us. With that, I'd like to invite the R counter for today. And I think that is Amy. Am I right? Or is it Gabby? I don't, it's Gabby. Yeah, my bad. Over to you, Gabby.
Hi, Ravi. Yes, I start with my report. I share my screen. Yeah. Citra had one up and two well. Michelle, I saw is your speech was fluent and I don't catch only one. Congratulations, Michelle. Aquif, he had a 4A and 3M, and you know one. Itchel, she had a 7A, a 3M, and one well. Ravi, you had 2M. Shilpa only had one A. Pretty, he had a 2A and 1M. Amy only had 2A. Jasmine don't catch only one. Mary, she had 2A and 1M and one well. Yes, one well. That's all my report, Ravi. Back to you.
Thank you for that report, Toastmaster Gabby. And with that, I would like to now hand it over to Toastmaster and the Madam President, Ayu, to present her report on the timer.
In the beginning, everybody was doing great. But then when we reach evaluation, we have 2 DTM, which is short for don't time me. Because Akim and Ikhil kind of, having something because they spend 4 minutes each to evaluate the speaker. What I can say, they try to evaluate very deep. Congratulations on that part. Everybody doing good. I just want to say something because we were talking about dancing, right? And Chitra, correct me if I'm wrong. If I do like this called siladat in Balinese dancing. And when you move your hips a little bit, that called ngegol. Yeah, right. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you for that, Toastmaster Ayu, and for also bringing in dance into the timers report as well. That was really nice of you. All right. So now, finally, for my observations as well. I have a few of them. I loved the manner in which Toastmaster Yasmin, the Toastmaster of the day, started off the meeting. A lovely theme. I think it has brought every one of us together. All the different cultures, not only within a particular country, but across the world. She's beautifully tied that thread and brought all of us together. What this reminded me of was a bit by George Cullen. He talks about things that are common, even though all of us are different, there are certain things that are really common amongst all of us. And that's what this reminded me of. Dance, I think, as she said, it transcends anything that we think divides us. Dance is something that unites us across all. So that was a lovely theme and a lovely way to introduce it to all of us. The table topics master, Tiger, I think that was a beautiful set of table topics that you had brought up, Tiger. So love that as well. Where's Tiger? Okay. Yay. Love the table topics. And I really loved the fact that all the guests, I think, that we had were given an opportunity to speak up, and they were engaged. And so they feel that they were part of the meeting. Rather than just being spectators, they were able to participate as well. So that was really lovely. Thanks for engaging them as well, Tiger. When it comes to the grammarian's report, I think one thing I can say is she used a compelling word as a compelling choice. It was a compelling choice for word of the day. So that was really, really great. One of the toughest things to do as a grammarian is to pick a word that people can use in their within the speech or within the conversations within the Toastmasters Club meeting, and also recall it and use it once they are outside of that meeting as well. And I think you did a stupendous job of that, Mary. And also the observations were really good. I've been called a grammar Nazi, and I continue to be called that by a lot of my friends. I think I think you're there as well. So, but in a good way. A great job with that as well. All the other role players as well have done a really amazing job. One small thing that I would want to point out is, I think at times the timer cards were possibly not visible to everybody. So the suggestion is not really to the timer, but to others as well. What I would point out is, if there's a manner, especially if you've joined from a personal computer, my suggestion would be, you have an option to pin the timer. And if you do that, you'll always be able to see the timer cards. And you will not get distracted by other folks that are around when you're speaking. So that's a suggestion that I would share with those of us who are going to be presenting, not the timer. So that's about it. I think even though we did not have the third speaker, we have still wrapped up within time, and we've had an opportunity to involve everybody who's in the meeting. So that's really good. That's about it. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day, Yasmin.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ravi, for taking that session forward, which was indeed an important one. And yes, I know you all are wondering that I haven't brought Europe into the scene, and I know I cannot forget my friends from Europe. And I just wanted to bring to you the dance forms perhaps you have not heard that frequently about. I mean, especially the non-Europeans. For example, look at this one from Bavaria region in Germany, which is quite popular during the Oktoberfest. And as is in other dance forms, there are a lot of leg movements into it, and then they try to actually touch the feet and the hands together. So quite an interesting combination of color costume and feet movement in this dance form. And here comes the beautiful Trentella, which is a popular dance form in Italy, originating from south of Italy, and we can feel the energy around. Besides the brightness of the colors, which was, if you recall, is also something similar, which when we saw the previous dance forms from Africa and India, the bright colors. So this is also something which unites us, I guess, whenever it is about to bring the energy and vigor in a dance form. And to perhaps it's not justified if we do not bring Sevilla from Spain into the dance form of Europe, because we all know about flamencos, but there is a local dance form in Sevilla, which at least to me in costume looks quite familiar to flamenco. And we can see again, it's a couple dance with a lot of energy. And I have Amy here, and I would just catch perhaps 1 second to just ask from her if there is any popular dance form from Ireland which she could share with us we might not know about.
Yeah, there is. I thought it was quite famous, but obviously not. So we have Irish dancing, and Irish dancing has been kind of trademarked as river dance, which a man called Michael Flatley made very famous and travels the world doing fantastic dance performances. I was looking it up. No, I don't have it. I was going to try share a video earlier, but I've gotten rid of it. So I don't know how much time. It'll take a little bit of time to find it, but recommend anyone check it out. The original River Dance with Michael Flatley, and it's very, 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 yeah, it's cool. Irish dancing, we move our feet and we keep the tops of our body really stiff.
I see. I can relate to what you meant earlier. And the beauty is that still the different dance form sort of, excite us. You being an Irish sort of, used to that typical dance form, are so fascinated with now the Latin and the Mexican free flow, the body free flow. And well, I started with India, I'm going to end with India. I started with traditional dances, and I'm going to not leave you all without making you understand that we have the world of Bollywood dances. And that's a soft culture which unites us. The message I want to bring it here is yes, the traditional dances are very important. They really brings in the history of it. We can see that they might be coming from different regions, but there are so many similarity into it, and it could be a very good way of knowing anyone's culture. But at the same time, dance could also be something simplified, made more popularized. It's a sort of soft power, winning a soft power, knowing to get to know each other. And these simple dance forms can keep us connected. With this message, I would like to leave you all to give a bit more of thinking and definitely include one dance form in your New Year resolution as to something you would like to take up and learn. Yeah, I said you're going to dance. You're not going to just watch the dance video. You're not saying like, oh, yes, Meena, we watch one dance video. No, you're going to learn one dance video. And perhaps next year, when we come again towards this time, we are sure that we will have 15 varieties of dance expert amongst us. I'm sure. With this, I will hand the meeting over to our very president, Ayu.
Thank you, Yasmin. Thank you for bringing us, guiding us throughout the meeting. It was very smooth. It was very compelling. And thank you for our visiting Toastmaster who helped us with roles. Thank you very much. And let's chit chat a bit after the meeting, and I will say meeting adjourned.